Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharini. My salutations to Swami Vivekananda, who is the king among the monks, whose knowledge is equal to thousands of blazing sun, and whose nature is existence, awareness, bliss absolute, and who has descended on this earth to redeem the difficulties of the humankind. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, morning we had a wonderful celebrations on this auspicious day, that is 161st birthday of Swami Vivekananda. Morning we had a puja, bhajans, singing, then prasad, which is very important, of course. And now we are having a discussion on Swami Vivekananda's spiritual experiences, as well as followed by evening Vesper service. When we remember Swami Vivekananda, he is known globally, of course. His Chicago's Parliament of Religions made him known East and West alike. And when people remember Swami Vivekananda, or when they hear the name Swami Vivekananda, many have their own views about Swami Vivekananda. Probably, if I make an interview across the globe, across different walks of people from different walks of life, they give their different opinions. Say someone say that, oh, he's a monk. Someone say he's a Vedantic monk. Someone may say he's a cyclonic monk. These are all adjectives. Other than that, oh, he was known for his patriotism. Rabindranath Tagore himself has addressed him or has described him as condensed India. Then someone say that, oh, he was a great humanitarian. He always felt for the people. His heart was feeling for the masses. Like the people keep on telling about him in their own views. This is all correct, no doubt. But according to me, according to many, the people who have studied Swami Vivekananda's life in deep or in depth, they all feel these are all external paraphernalias, or these are the part of his personality, no doubt. But in general, or in reality, he is the spiritual person. He is the man of meditation. His guru, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he addressed him as is a born Siddha, Dhyana Siddha, Janmata Dhyana Siddha. As a birth from birth, he is apt in meditation. His mind used to go always try to meditate. It used to rush whenever the mind he gets a chance. It used to go and sit for meditation. That is Swami Vivekananda. And moreover, his spiritual personality is something amazing. Very few people of us we can understand his spiritual aspect, his spiritual experiences. So maybe this auspicious day may be an event where we shall understand, try to understand his spiritual experiences, and we shall also get inspired and try to do more and more spiritual practices. The first meeting with Sri Ramakrishna himself, it was a great indeed. When young Naren, met Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa directly, he asked a question, Sir, have you seen God? He was just a young chap. During that age, most of us will be thinking about our life, dream like finishing our graduation, having a lucrative job, secure job, settling in the life, buying a house, buying a vehicle, whatnot. But even in that young age, he was so much obsessed with the God, existence of God. He used to spend a lot of time in meditation or a lot of time in studies, Eastern philosophy as well as Western philosophy, and try to get the answer whether God exists If so, in what form, in what way? And when he met Sri Ramakrishna, he directly asked, Sir, have you seen God? And Sri Ramakrishna was in no way, he was less than his disciples from Vivekananda. He said, Yes, I have seen God. The only thing is, difference is, I have seen God much more clearer than I am seeing you. Second is that. And the third is, if you want God, I can show you. So one is he's giving a clear answer that yes, I have seen God. So proof of existence of God has been proved. And second is he has seen much clearly than is perceiving a person who is sitting in front of. Means God can be perceived, God can be experienced, God can be felt, viewing or whatever. And if you want, I can show you the God. And Swami Vivekananda took it as a challenge, and he also tried in the whatever his guru Sri Ramakrishna told, and he practiced spiritual disciplines, and he did see the God. And if you see here, Swami Vivekananda, as a young Naren, he was standing as a, with strong willpower and intellectuality at that time. And whereas Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa just he had a fourth standard, he comes from a rural background. He was a mystic and he was a person of spiritual experience. So probably on the lighter side, we can say there was a tussle between intellectualism versus spirituality or mysticism. And finally, spiritual one and intellectuality or the strong willpower got melted. That's what we see in the life of Swami Vivekananda. After probably 2 or 3 years might have over, once Sri Ramakrishna was explaining the Advaita philosophy. We all know the standard Upanishadic statement or Vedic statement, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Whatever exists in this universe, everything is pervaded by consciousness. Or consciousness alone exists, nothing else exists. We might have heard many times, we hear, we think, and we keep quiet. And Sri Ramakrishna, while explaining this, he said, Look, I am Brahman, and you are that Brahman, you are that conscious, and the jug and the kettle or the table, the cart, chair, everything is Brahman, everything is pervaded by consciousness, only consciousness alone exists. This young Naren felt it is too much. Jug, kettle, cart, I, you, everything is Brahman. How can it be? I think Sri Ramakrishna, sometimes he thinks, or his speech is illogical. He has lost his mental balance, probably. That was his perception, his understanding, or his thinking. He came out. And one more young chap was there, Haladari. Both of them started making a joke on this Advaita philosophy. Even the other person was also not interested in this Advaita philosophy to a larger extent. What is this? Sri Ramakrishna is telling everyone is Brahman. Everything is Brahman, it seems. Everything is consciousness. Even the cart, kettle, jug, pen, pencil, or whatever, you, me, everything. Both were laughing. Sri Ramakrishna got up from his cart and he came out of his room and he came near Naren and he asked, What are you speaking, Naren? What are you talking, both of you? And Naren was sincere and straightforward and simple. And he said, Oh, Master, the Advaita dictum which you were explaining that everything is Brahman, kettle, jug, everything is Brahman, you were saying that. So we were laughing at it while discussing. Why? How can it be everything be conscious, everything is Brahman? It is all nonsense, bullshit. Sri Ramakrishna just he touched Naren. Sri Ramakrishna's divine touch brought a big change in Naren's view, Naren's experience. Immediately, he felt everything is getting melted down in one place. The wall, the people in and around him, the Dakshineshwar temple complex, everything is getting merged in one reality. And everything is pervaded by consciousness. What he had heard by Sri Ramakrishna, he started experiencing it. So it was not mere intellectual gymnasium, or it was not mere poetry written in Upanishads. It is a matter of experience. He understood that. And he was so much obsessed with that idea. When he is moving, going back to his house, he's unable to feel many things. or is unable to see the things as it is. Rather, he's saying that everything is pervaded by consciousness. And slowly, when his mind came bit down, he started feeling that the whole world is a dream world. Just like we have got a dream experience, in the dream we get so many types of experiences. So similarly, so-called waking state world was appearing as a dream for him, and he used to go and touch the railings, iron railings, whether it is existing physically or it is just an appearance, or it is my dream, or it is my imagination. And when he sat for food, he was unable to eat the food. Why? Whatever when we start, I mean, before, when we take the food, we keep on uttering the mantra, Brahmarpanam Brahma Vihi, Brahmagnau Brahmanavutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhin. This is the sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Brahmarpanam. The offering, the act of offering is Brahman. Brahma Havihi. Havis. Havis is the content, the materials which we offer. So, for an example, firewood or ghee we offer in the homa, sacrifice. So, similarly, we are offering the food inside for Bhagavan, for the Lord. So, that is the offering content. Food is also Brahma. Brahmagnav. In the sacrificial fire, there is a fire, which is Brahman. Inside also, we have got a fire in our stomach. That's why we get digestion. So, that fire is also Brahman. Brahmagno, Brahmana Uttam. Even the act of offering is also Brahman. Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. So finally, everything gets in Brahman, Brahma Karma Samadhi. So Brahman and Brahman alone exist. That is the meaning of the mantra which we utter before our food. So literally, he was saying that. Because when he sat for food, he was unable to take the rice particles. Why? Because he is Brahman, the plate is Brahman, the rice is Brahman, the ladle is Brahman, his mother who is serving, she is probably for him, even she was also a Brahman. So he was unable to take the food continuously as we enjoy the food. Rather, he used to sit one or two morsel of food he used to take, and he used to keep quiet, and he used to just seeing some things. His mother felt something happened to my son. Immediately, she thought some ghost might have entered, or some deadly spirit might have entered. And she got annoyed and she started worrying, what happened to my son? She used to shake him, what happened to you? What happened to you? Why are you not eating? But he was unable to eat, and he was not feeling even a lot of much hunger, it seems. So slowly, when mind came down after few days, then he was able to see the world as before the experience. From then onwards, he accepted the Advaita in complete or in toto, and then onwards, he never made any jokes on Advaita scriptures or on Advaita statements or on Advaita philosophy, because it became the part of his experience. He experienced that the whole world is pervaded by consciousness. Even the Ishavas Upanishad, the starting mantra itself says, Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tektena bunjita magrudakasya svidhanam. Whatever exists in the world, either sentient or insentient, either the smallest thing or the biggest thing, everything is covered by the Lord. Isha, one who, Ishati, one who, rules the world. Means everything is pervaded by consciousness. For us, it is a matter of imagination, or it is a hypothetical argument, or to be realized. But for Swami Vivekananda, it became a matter of experience, and he experienced it. And Sri Ramakrishna, because of accepting the sin of a lot of people, he had developed the throat cancer. And for the medical treatment, he was shifted from Dakshineshwar to Kashipur, which is the area in a part of the Calcutta, India. Then all young disciples who wanted to renounce the world, they started living with Sri Ramakrishna and serving him and following his teachings in toto and trying to practice spiritual sadhana. Once, couple of times, he had pestered Sri Ramakrishna that please bless me so that let me have Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Let me have Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Let me have Nirvikalpa Samadhi. One day, he had sat for meditation. In no time, the meditation was very deep. And that time, probably on that day, still it was much more intense. And slowly he started feeling a small light is there behind his head. Like someone puts a torch light behind my head. How do I feel? Or how do I experience? So, similar feeling, Naren also started feeling. Slowly, slowly, the light became very vivid. It started increasing in its volume also. And finally, it engulfed a whole of his body. And the entire thing, he became the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, we say, I am that Brahman. When we are telling Aham Brahmasmi or I am that Brahman, still there is some duality, some difference between I and Brahman. I, the individual soul, embodied soul, or Brahmakara Vritti might have appeared according to the Vedanta, and Brahman, subject, and the act of experience, I am becoming a Brahman or I am Brahman, the three things are there still. A very thin layer of separation is there. But in Swami Vivekananda, when he started feeling that the whole himself and the whole world is engulfed with the light and light alone, then he started experiencing that I am that Brahman. We don't know for how long he was in that position or in that state of experience. After some time, his mind came bit down. Then he started to feeling having his only head portion and not the rest of the body. He felt very annoyed probably. Then Badogopalda, Swami Advaitananji was one of the disciple, brother monk was there next to him. He started asking him, "Oh, Badogopalda, where are my hands? Where is my body? Where are my legs?" Advaitananji or Badogopalda started feeling embarrassing. Felt very annoyed. But your body is here, your hands are here, your legs are here. Why are you shouting like this? Look, Naren, is your hands. Like that, he started shaking his body. But still, it took some amount of time to feel that for Naren that yes, I have my body, I have my hands, I have my legs, or I have my trunk. Then some of them got even disturbed or they started feeling worried. Immediately they went and they reported to Sri Ramakrishna. Naren is, behaving very weirdly. He started asking that where is his body? Where are his hands and legs? What happened? We are unable to understand. Sri Ramakrishna smilingly, laughingly said, yes, that fellow, that rascal, he was annoying me for a long time, from since long time for Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He had that, it will be okay, don't worry. Then after some time, quite some time, when mind he came down, he went and he met Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna told a very important sentence. From long time, you are annoying me for this Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You had it. That's it. Now that will be locked. And the lock is, and the key is kept with me until and otherwise you finish my work or mother's work. Then till then, it will not be opened. So this Swami Vivekananda didn't come for himself. He descended on this earth to uplift the humanity, to show the path to humanity. We can understand very clearly by this Sri Ramakrishna's statement. And some probably a year or two before, in between there is a misunderstanding about Naren. There are many devotees who misunderstood about young Naren, and they started coming and explaining to Sri Ramakrishna how Naren has taken a wrong path, probably has fallen from spirituality, probably has gotten a bad character, all sorts of nonsense things they were going on telling. But Sri Ramakrishna knew who is Naren actually. So it is mere prejudices, it is a wrong understanding or misconception he knew. Once one devotee called Bhavanath, he came and he started feeling that, oh, I never expected Naren will do like this. He will go to this wrong path, etc. He started explaining with so much intense feeling as if it happened to his own son or his own brother or whatever. After a few minutes, Ramakrishna got terribly annoyed and angry. Look, either you stop here or you get away. Because where, in the place where you are criticizing Naren, that means you are doing Shivaninda. That place itself becomes impure. So either you stop it or go away, because otherwise the place will become impure. So Sri Ramakrishna had seen Swami Vivekananda as a young Naren, in what esteem or in what status or in what state he had kept Sri Ramakrishna, even young Naren. We can understand from this. And also, there is also interesting incident about Naren's initiation from Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna initiated, if not all, many of his disciples in different way. For some, he touched and he invoked goddesses are the mantra. For someone, he asked them to open their tongue and he wrote the mantra. For someone, he blessed by keeping the hands on him and he gave initiation. In a different ways, he gave initiation. Two or three disciples also, he asked them to take the initiation from Holy Mother Sharda Devi also. And Sri Ramakrishna initiated Swami Vivekananda or young Naren into Rama Mantra. See, is a Shiva. Shivas, even in the scriptures, we can very clearly know that Rama's Ishtadevata, chosen deity is Shiva. Shiva's Ishtadevata, chosen deity is Vishnu or Rama. Very interesting thing. So, since he is Shiva himself, that's why he knew that Sri Ramakrishna gave Ramataraka mantra or Rama mantra for Swamiji. Many of us, most of us, we have got initiation. On that day, probably we might have felt blessed. We felt very happy. We felt that, okay, we have got a. Someone asked me, what is the use of taking initiation or what is the initiation? I keep on telling in the light on the lighter side. Oh, it is like passport. Passcode for my debit card or credit card or for my bank access. So, like that, we have got a spiritual treasure inside. To get that, the law and the key or the passcode is initiation or the mantra which we get from our guru. So that day, young Naren also got spiritual initiation from his guru Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa into Rama mantra, or he got Rama mantra. That day, whole day, his mind had filled with Rama, and he was go on repeating the Lord's name, Rama's name, and he was go on singing. He was a wonderful singer, as we all know. He was go on singing different hymns on Rama. Not only was singing, and even he was circulating, and he was doing pradakshina, circulating, and by clapping the hands, he was go on uttering or singing different hymns on Rama. And so much so, he had that spiritual wave had carried over young Naren, and probably young Naren was not able to understand what is happening in him. Such a spiritual current he had got once he got initiation. By this, we can understand Swami Vivekananda's mind or young Naren's mind, how it was pure, how it was crystal clear. We all have got a problem, one problem, especially who have taken the spiritual path, either monk or a householder. What is that? To rise our minds, to higher conscious, to higher realms. We struggle a lot. We struggle a lot. Even Swami Vivekananda also had to struggle a lot. The only difference is we struggle a lot to rise our minds. They struggle a lot to bring down their minds. That's what we can see in the life of Swami Vivekananda. Every time he was struggling to hold the mind in the particular level or to bring down his mind. And one more, as a young Naren, his father had passed away. He was a graduate and he started pursuing his post graduation. By the time his father had passed away, then he had to take the job. He had to search for a job to take care of his mother, elder sisters, and younger brothers. Unfortunately, he didn't get job easily. He had to go different schools or different institutions or different firms in search of job. And because there is a dire poverty in the house, even a square meal was very difficult for him or for the members of the house. Many times he never used to take the food and he used to say that I had my food in the birthday party in my friend's house or in someone's house, and he never used to take the food. Why? Because if the one time if I skip the meal, then my mother and sisters and brothers, they will have 2 or 3 spoons of rice and a little dal, they will get more. Thinking that he used to tell that I have finished my food, and he used to go inside and used to take probably a jar of water, and he used to feel so hungry, and with the stomach pain, he used to tie a towel around his stomach with that pain, and he used to sleep, and sometimes he used to cry. So much difficulties he had to face. And in this physical difficulties, he had to search for a job. He had been going from pillar to post for searching job or in want of job. Once it was also raining little. He had got drenched in the rain, and because of weakness, because he had not taken the proper food for a few days, he was feeling so tired and he was unable to walk anymore. And he went nearby the tree and he sat under the tree. He sat because of his tiredness. Probably just he closed house. He closed his eyes and probably had a small nap also maybe. Then, when he came into conscious, he started feeling. Just like we know onion, if you remove layer by layer onion, we can keep on removing. So, similarly, he started feeling that layer after layer, something has been removed. One layer is removed, second layer is removed, third layer is removed, fourth layer is removed, fifth layer is removed, and there inside there is a core which is with full of energy. And he feels that I am that energy. I am not this body, rather, I am that energy. I am the embodiment of that energy. Swami Vivekananda's experience. The moment he experienced that, all the physical tiredness, whatever he had, and that mental agony, whatever he had, everything got disappeared. And he started feeling that is the embodiment of strength, is the embodiment of energy. He got up and he started walking with full strength, vigor, energy. This was his experience even during as a young Naren. And once Swami Vivekananda, as an itinerant monk, he was going in the foot of Himalayas near Almora, particular place called Kakri Ghat. He was traveling, and again he sat under a peepal tree. He closed he sat for meditation. And in no time, his mind again merged in the meditation, in the deep meditation, and he started experiencing the microcosm and the macrocosm, both are one and the same. The Upanishads again and again they tell whatever is made up of, for an example, an atom is made up of what material? The same material also, in the whole world is also made up of the same material. Only there is a quantity difference, but there is no quality difference. Just for an example, a water in the pond and a water in the lake or a water in the river. In both the places, there is H2O only, water only. From the quality point of view or from the content point of view, there is no difference, but only probably there can be difference between the quantity. Here, say for an example, 200 or 300 liters of water in the small pond, in the big lake, probably 200,000 liters of water. So quantity difference, but not content difference. Even like Mahakasha and Ghatakasha. Gata is a pot. The space in the pot and the space outside both are one and the same. But only the part external covering, it appears that both are different, but it is not so. Similarly, Andhanda and Brahmanda means, like for an example, individual self and the supreme self both are made up of the same material. Both nature is same. Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, awareness, and bliss absolute. We all keep hearing this. We all keep reading in the Upanishads time and again. But this is the experience Swami Vivekananda had experienced. The microcosm and the macrocosm both are one and the same. What a beautiful experience. Based on his experience, he he narrates or he explains all these things in his Jnana Yoga lectures in the West. So we can understand how, different type of spiritual experiences he was having. And even just like a young Naren, even as a child Naren, when the moment he used to sleep, before going to, deep sleep, he used to feel that there's a small light in between his eyebrows. And he start developing into bigger, and slowly it covers his entire body and it's the entire room where he's sleeping. So in that feeling that the whole room and himself, everything is been covered in that light, in that experience, used to go to sleep. And Naren had thought this is the usual experience or common experience of everyone. That's why he never made a fuss of it or never discussed or he never questioned anyone else. And when he met his guru, Sri Ramakrishna, in one of his visits, Sri Ramakrishna asked, "Do you see the light before going to bed?" He said, "Yes, every day before going to bed, I see. But what is there? What's special? Because I experience, even everyone will experience similarly." Sri Ramakrishna smiles and says, "No, everyone will not experience. You are the person who are experiencing it." And also, second time when he went to Himalayas along with Sister Nivedita and some other Western disciples, His mind was so high when he went to Amarnath. Imagine Shiva himself is going to visit one more Shiva, and he went. He had a high fever, and he asked other people to don't have a dip near Amarnath. There is a small lake which is ice cold water, river or lake. There is a ice cold water. It will be biting cold. There he told everyone not to take a dip because they may get a fever or cold. But himself, he had a high fever, he had a holy dip, and with a drenched clothes, he went to have the darshan of Amarnath. And when he went to see the Amarnath, we all see that ice lingam. Ice lingam we see, we feel, we out of whatever the respect we have, we offer our respect, salutations, we pray, and we come back. But when Swami Vivekananda, when he went and when he saw this Amarnath Shivalinga, ice made up of ice, he was able to see as clearly Shiva, Parvati, Nandi, and Kartikeya, I think someone else. Very clearly, crystal clearly, he was able to experience the existence of Shiva. And he also got the boon that you may be become Icha Mrityu. Means the moment whenever you feel you can leave this mortal coil, that boon he got from Amarnath Shiva for Swami Vivekananda. Afterwards, they went to in Srinagar different places. Again, his mind was he was merged himself in his own thoughts. Then he told, and when he was they had hired a boat, boat house in the Srinagar, and the person was Muslim actually, and a small, a young daughter was there, and he did Kumari Puja for that young Muslim girl. We know Kumari Puja means like the manifestation of mother is seen in young girls, and they are offered a seat. And just like how we worship the mother with the 16 type of items, more or less, or 5 or 10 or 16 items. Similarly, we worship the young girl, feeling that embodiment of mother. Swami Vivekananda did Kumari Puja for that young Muslim girl. After 1 or 2 days, he told to Nivedita and others, I would like to go someplace. Please don't follow me. Then they had to listen to Swami Vivekananda. They were in the houseboat, and Swami Vivekananda left. Probably for a few hours, or even a day or so, two, Swami Vivekananda never returned back. Obviously, everyone became anxious. What happened to Swamiji in that cold? Where did he go? What happened, etc. And the boathouse person, the owner of that boathouse, he also had, other than the daughter, son, also young son. Then the young son knew Swami Vivekananda. He had become very good friend with Swamiji, and he started running towards this houseboat, and he came and informed that on particular place Swami Vivekananda had fell unconscious. All of them, they went and see the whole body it had become cold and numb. Everyone bought and applied oil, and they did some massage, and they started uttering mantras or whatever. Then slowly, Swami Vivekananda regained his consciousness, and he started breathing and everything. Means he had fell unconscious in his samadhi. So there are a couple of times, time and again, Swami Vivekananda had experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and he had fell unconscious. And especially when Swami Vivekananda in the West, 4 to 5 years, when we remember, he gave a fiery lectures on Vedanta. The whole Vedanta, the whole West was filled with Vedantic thoughts or Advaita Vedantic thoughts or thoughts of non-dualism, we all feel. And he had to face a lot of criticisms, he had to face a lot of troubles, adverse circumstances. That's all fine, we know that. Apart from that, what was his mindset? Many people, even they criticize about him, about his dress, about his food in the earlier days, though many don't do now. What was Swami Vivekananda's mindset then? After doing couple of continuous lectures, once he felt I should stop this public lecture and I should select some really interested, serious aspirants, and I should take them in one place. I should do some retreat for them. As a result, around 10 to 15 aspirants who were serious in the spiritual pursuit, he selected around 10 to 15 people, and they went to Thousand Island Park. In one house, they were staying, and Swami Vivekananda used to take classes morning and afternoon and evening or whatever. And basically, it was a retreat for a few days, a week or two. And one day, Swami Vivekananda got up and probably they had finished their meditation and others were busy in preparing the breakfast. Swami Vivekananda said, "Look, there's a nearby tree. I will get, I'll be sitting and studying Bhagavad Gita, I'll be meditating. Once the breakfast is ready, please inform me. I will come back and I will join with you." Everyone nodded their head. Swami Vivekananda went and he sat for meditation. Then probably half an hour or 1 hour might have been over. Josephine McLeod, Joe we call, she went to call Swamiji. But unfortunately, Swamiji had sat for meditation. Not only that, the book, the Bhagavad Gita book, had fallen from his hand, and there is no conscious at all. There is no breathing even in Swamiji's body. By seeing that, Josephine McLeod felt that Swamiji is no more. Swamiji has left his mortal coil. Immediately, she started running and she came back to the house where the people were there preparing breakfast. They said, Swamiji has left his mortal coil. Swamiji is no more. Everyone got shocked, everyone got stunned, and they left the work there. Immediately, everyone started running towards Swami Vivekananda, where he had sat for meditation. Then everyone said, yes, slowly, I think there is no life because no breathing, no heartbeat, and even probably no pulse, nothing. Then they all felt that Swamiji has left his mortal coil. Some of these Joseph and McLeod or some of the Western disciples, they knew about this Swamiji going to Nirvikalpa Samadhi time and again, unlike Tatvamasi or Mahavakyas, something if we can go on uttering our Lord's name, then probably their mind may come down. So Joseph and McLeod or some other Western disciple knew, so they hinted it and they started uttering the Mahavakya Tatvamasi. They go on uttering for a couple of minutes or for a couple of time. Then slowly, Swami Vivekananda started breathing. Then after some time, he started feeling, people started understanding that he is coming into conscious. And slowly, he opened his eyes. Everyone felt that they got relieved. Swami Vivekananda has come back. Swami Vivekananda has not left his mortal coil. But Swami Vivekananda, when he opened his eyes, by seeing the reactions on the faces of the people who were assembled there, he understood that they had become panic because of his sitting in meditation and he lost the consciousness or whatever. Then he smiled and said, "Don't worry, I don't leave my mortal coil in this land," he says. Means he will go back, if at all he has to leave his mortal coil, he has to leave his body, he will go back to India and he live his life there, not here. That he was he had told very clearly. And similarly, in Michigan Lake also, Swamiji sat for meditation and his mind was going into the different realms and slowly he was rising. Immediately, Sri Ramakrishna appeared to him and said, "Naren, what are you doing? Pull on, hold on. Otherwise, if you go still more, then you cannot come back. Still, your work is not yet over. The task which has been given to you, it has not been completed. So come down, come back, or hold on. Then you cannot go more." Then again, Swamiji had to hold his mind. And in probably in one of his devotees' house where he was staying, he had to go for lecture, and he was standing in front of a big mirror and he was looking himself. That lady who had hosted Swami Vivekananda, she was a very good lady. She was interested in Vedanta and spirituality. But only she had one probably defect in her personality. That she used to probably sizzle it out everyone's character, everyone's personality, everyone's behavior. And she used to see whether can I find any mistake in his behavior or in her behavior. That was her nature. So she was also trying to use the convex lens. Whether is there any mistake or any loophole or any defect in Swami Vivekananda's personality or Swami Vivekananda's character. She was so much, very critically she was analyzing, critically she was observing Swami Vivekananda time and again. But after for some time, she didn't get anything as such. When Swami Vivekananda is about to go to lecture, but he's standing in front of mirror, probably she thought that, so just like others, is standing in front of the mirror, life-size mirror, and is making his dress properly, and probably is combing his hair, as is putting some powder or snow or whatever makeup. Then she started feeling, aha. Swami Vivekananda says, I am the Brahman, I am that Brahman, I am that self, I am neither the body, I am neither the mind, nor the senses, nor the intellect. And this fellow, before going to talk, is standing in life size mirror and is looking after himself. So he says Vedanta in one side, other side, he feels that he is a body or he has got body conscious. So it is definite. I mean, it is natural. So she was thinking, Swami Vivekananda, even without turning behind, she says, Mother, I have to go and talk now. I'm supposed to give a talk now. I'm supposed to deliver address. I'm supposed to give my address. But my mind is so high, I will not be able to speak. That's why I'm trying to bring my down bit low so that I'll be able to address the people. So I'm standing in front of the mirror and I'm telling to my mind, oh, look, you have got a body. So don't feel that you are the self. Of course, I am the self, but I'm having the body. So I'm telling time and again that you have got the body, you have got the body, so that I should be able to bring my down bit low or down so that I can give a talk to the people. And she felt so embarrassed. She felt so blushful. She apologized and she asked, sorry, one of his disciple, sorry, Sister Devamata, she tells, when we were hearing Swami Vivekananda's talk, we never knew how much time went. It may be half an hour, it may be 1 hour, it may be 2 hours, it may be 3 hours. We never had any time since then. Why? Time and space was melted in the infinity. When we were hearing Swami Vivekananda's talk, we felt that the time and space was melted in the infinity. What experience! And we never used to see anyone each other, including Swami Vivekananda. We used to see only some voice, reverberating voice, with full of strength and vigor and with the spiritual power, spiritual strength. It is to come and touch, and we used to feel that we are self, not the body, not the mind. Means Swami Vivekananda was transferring sorry, spirituality through his talk. We can understand. I think Swami Krupa Mayananda means she's a again monastic disciple of Swami Vivekananda, Western lady. She also says that when we were hearing Swami Vivekananda's talk, we used to feel some sensation behind our low back. Means the Kundalini Shakti Jagruta, we say, awakening the Kundalini Shakti, whatever we say. We have to do a lot of meditation, a lot of penance, we have to practice purity of mind, whatnot. When we do all this thing only, we can have that rise of Kundalini Shakti, awakening of Kundalini Shakti. But whereas when these people were hearing Swami Vivekananda's talks, they used to feel that there is an awakening of Kundalini Shakti. That means Swami Vivekananda, spirituality we can imagine. And it so happened quite a number of times. He used to go and discuss about Vedanta, about the self. Sri Ramakrishna used to come and warn him, it seems, Naren, what are you doing? You are taking the people's mind so high. They have to, after your talk, they have to go back to their house and they have to continue their work. They have to continue their family life. If you carry them to such a great heights, then probably they will not be able to continue their life. They will not be able to continue their work. So please, you come down and don't take them to to the high such heights so that it will be difficult for them to live in the world. Imagine when we hear all such type of things, we feel probably it may be like after 100 or 500 years, if someone listens to these stories, we may feel it's a mythology. Oh no, it is a imagination, it's a mythology. But just 100 years before or 125 years before has happened, and many people who have witnessed, many people who experienced, they have narrated all these things. So we can understand very clearly how Swami Vivekananda was a person of spirituality. He was the embodiment of spirituality. And even he was such a pure mind he had. Swami Vivekananda had become very famous in the West. Many people used to feel so happy and blessed, even if they touch his frog or if they shake his hand and all. One lady, somehow she was able to shake her hand with the Swami Vivekananda. After that, She was feeling so inspired for 3 days. Forget about taking bath. Even she didn't wash her hand after having her meals. Why? Because this hand is touched by Swami Vivekananda. I'm feeling so happy and so blissful and so blessed. I don't want to wash my hand and lose that feeling. Imagine. And one more young lady who comes from a rich family. She was so, looking so handsome and all. When she saw Swami Vivekananda and when she heard Swami Vivekananda's inspiring talks, she felt so much inspired and she started feeling that if I marry, I should marry such type of person. Obviously, she had that type of desire. She approached. She approached young Vivekananda Swami because they don't know much of this monasticism and monks don't marry or they follow the vow of celibacy, etc. Simply she approached Swami Vivekananda and said, Swami, I would like to have a son like you. So will you fulfill my desire? Means what? I would like to marry you. You would have said, oh, no, no, sorry, I'm a monk, I cannot marry. Someone say, how dare you can speak like this with a monk? Second, and if we are not strong enough, if our willpower is not strong enough, we say, okay, we will have it. But Swami Vivekananda, instantly, he said, Mother, why would you like to have a son like me? I am your son. Please accept me as your son. The lady, she was turned to listen such type of wordings from a young monk. Immediately, instantly, he said that, Mother, why would you desire a son like me? Instead of that, I am your son. Please accept, and you are my mother. What a purity Swami Vivekananda had. We can understand. And it's so that one more lady, she had a migraine problem, serious migraine problem. When she used to get that migraine problem, she had an intense pain for probably a day or two. She used to suffer and she used to cry bitterly because of that pain. And Swami Vivekananda had stayed in her house and he had he had a smoking with that wind pipe. And afterwards, Swamiji had left her house and the windpipe was kept near the mirror. Probably there was a piano or something table. And because of her again migraine and intense headache or intense pain, she was crying. She was crying. She was so much feeling uneasy of that pain, and she was crying. And she had rested her head near the mirror, and where that windpipe was there, which was used by Swamiji for smoking. And for her astonishment, the windpipe started talking just like Swamiji. My dear lady, are you feeling still headache? Are you? It is so much pain for you. Something like this. Uh, she heard. She started hearing voice from that windpipe. She was astonished. She rubbed her eyes once more because of her severe headache. Probably she has got some hallucinations. She thought no, but she was able to experience really. And for her astonishment again, for a long time she was suffering from this migraine problem. Once of the particular experience, the migraine problem it disappeared once for all for in her lifetime. The windpipe, which Swami Vivekananda had smoked once or twice probably. So that windpipe was able to cure the migraine problem of this lady. Means you can imagine Swami Vivekananda, what a personality. That's why Swami Vivekananda himself said that only one more Vivekananda can understand who is he or what Swami Vivekananda has done. So it is beyond our imagination. It is beyond our comprehension. It is beyond our thought, actually. So, whatever the few words they have told about themselves, or whatever the incidents we can see in their life, whatever the disciples, the devotees who have seen them, who have lived with them, who have experienced their infinite divine grace, and based on their experience with the divine grace, we can understand bit about Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, such type of spiritual giants. May Swami Vivekananda bless all of us on this auspicious day so that we shall manifest more and more spirituality. We shall try to imbibe more and more spirituality in our life, and we shall try to move towards more and more towards self or God. Again, we'll have a 6:45 Vesper service. So we request you to join again in the Vesper service by different link. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Rama Krishnarpanamastu.